Greeting everybody, it's RPG Grandma, and we're going to hit formations now in our mass combat on the land. Only human-type troops fight in a disciplined formation. This has been taken into consideration if designing the combat tables. So, reading it as it's written. Human-type units may change formation at any time. The penalty for a formation change is simply 1/2 normal movement, and any other movement made must be at normal speeds. Thus, for a human-type infantry, DAR, 20 figures, to move from skirmish formation to any other formation costs but 1/2 move. So, possible formations. We've got a chart. And this has infantry and it has cavalry, and under each of those it says human type or green. So we're going to start going through this. Formation, line. Human type is a yes, greenman is a no for infantry. For cavalry, human type is a yes, greenman is a no. Skirmish line. Infantry human type is a yes, greenman is a yes. For cavalry, human type is a yes, greenman is a yes. Formation column. Human type for infantry is a yes, for greenman is a yes. For cavalry, human type, yes, for greenman, yes. Attack column. For infantry, human type, yes. For greenman, no. For cavalry, human type, yes. For greenman, no. All around defense. For infantry, human type, it's a yes. For greenman, it's a yes. But for the cavalry, human type, it is a no. And for the greenman, it is also a no. Now, the other thing that affects movement is your terrain. Rough ground slows foot, and that's formed by 3 inches. It slows the cavalry by 6 inches. Cavalry charge, each thoat that has a 2 in 36 chance of stumbling. Rider stunned 6 turns. So on a roll of 2 or 12, it states in here, that's when that happens. Leaps have a 1 in 6 chance of causing a fall. Leaper is stunned for 1 to 6 turns. Get to roll dice. Broken ground. Formed movement is not possible. Charge movement is not possible. Leaps have a 2 in 6 chance of causing a fall. Leaper is stunned for 2 to 12 turns. Hills. Movement uphill is a -3 inches. So there's a penalty. Charges downhill are permitted only if the slope is very gentle. Trees. Units may not move through the trees in formation. Movement is at a 3 penalty through the trees. No charges through the trees are permitted, but units may charge out from the trees. Mountains. Only normal moves are permitted. All speeds reduced by 1/2. Now we covered the Barsoomian Code of Battle already. We covered missiles. We covered arc of fire, all that kind of stuff. We covered terrain effects on missiles. And then we get into melee. Melee occurs when stands or figures of opposing sides touch. Only touching stands or figures are counted in melees. Number of ranks fighting in a melee. Only the first rank fighters in the melee, but troops behind up to 10 ranks deep may be used to fill in front rank casualties. Skirmishing formations count only 5 ranks deep. Extraction of casualties. Casualties are extracted according to the combat table. Appears in the back of the booklet. from the rear ranks of the troops involved, as it is assumed that the rear ranks are filling in the front rank casualties. Count casualties left to right, rear to front. Continuation of melee. Each turn, there will be one round of battle when a melee is progress, and casualties will be extracted as explained above. Melee will end only when one side or the other has a morale failure. Morale is explained hereafter. Overlapping. Stands of a unit which is part of a melee, yet which have no enemy facing them, are eligible to move onto the flank or rear of their opponents. This overlapping occurs only after the first round of melee has been resolved and the next movement turn has arrived. It can be stopped by the arrival of enemy troops in the path of the heretofore possible overlap. Flank attack. Units attacking in the flank do not return casualties during the first round of melee, suffer double casualties, and must check morale. Therefore, it is assumed that the flanking troops turn, and on the second and succeeding rounds of melee, casualties are normal for both sides. Rear attack. Units attacked in the rear do not return casualties during the first and second rounds of melee, suffer double casualties during these 2 rounds, and must check morale. Thereafter, it is assumed that the troops attacking in the rear turn, and on the third and succeeding rounds of melee, casualties are normal for both sides. Loss of personality or commander figure. During melee, there is a chance that these types of figures may be killed. The chance is not proportionate, but is based on a roll in 6 possibility. When 6 or more casualties have been incurred in a DAR, roll a die. And if 1 is rolled, the leader of that unit has been killed. Do this each time an additional 6 casualties occur. Otherwise, the leader is considered to be the last figure to die. When dealing with larger units, Umaks, this rule does not apply, and the Odwar of the Umak must be surrounded to be killed. Basically got to checkmate them. Morale. Barsoomian morale in combat is exceptionally high, as all species of Barsoomians are generally very warlike and brave. It is reflected in the scores required to retain good morale. Morale checks to be made at 25% casualties or unit attacked in the flank, at 50% casualties or unit attacked from the rear, at 75% casualties or unit surrounded in the open, unit commander killed or attacked by flyer in the open, personality figure killed, outnumbered by superior troops by 3 or more to 1, routing unit within 3 inches. Well, that's all the stuff you'd have to roll. Morale table, including bonuses and penalties. The table for morale is given at the end of the booklet, so we'll have to go over that. So that'll be probably, I'll make a special video on that one.